sightings, man. And one of them is real popular. So whenever I was now, if you was if you ever been through that, like I have, I do my truck driver thing. If you ever been through that, you will see everywhere you go, they selling like little alien stuff, little knickknacks and patty whacks and all that kind of junk, bro. So everywhere you go, you just see, little toys for sale, hats and all that kind of stuff, little stickers and all that. It really blew my mind. It had me thinking that's where Area 51 was. So I'm just, I just found out yesterday, Area 51 in Nevada. I'm thinking that junk in Roswell because of all the junk they got over there. So, a little info, hey, I know about this UFO sighting out there. I got some stuff that's, just actual stuff you hear on the internet or whatever. But I got some other stuff that I heard from the locals. Because when I seen all these different stuff out there, my mind was like, I gotta figure out what's going on. I'm the type that like to, I like to try to get information from, the locals, man. See, the internet give you a lot of info, but see, this the problem. The internet only tell you, it really only show you like the first 20 pages when you Google search something. It's going to the highest bidder. So if you search for, like, let's say you search for news about, let's just say you search cleaning products, right? Like you gonna see all the stuff from the big boys. Like you're gonna see Clorox and Downy and all that kind of stuff, Tide and Ajax and all that. And you're gonna see that page after page after page. Then once you go through about 20 pages or something, you might see like a little small town cleaning, company or something that do stuff. You might see that on down the line. But up front, that's not how it works. So a lot of people think Google to be all end all, but that just ain't true. And y'all let me know what it sounds like, man. I got a little music playing, but let me know if that music too loud or something, because I don't want that disturbing, the video, man. Let me put the comments on so I can see what y'all say. Okay, man, y'all already? Okay, there we go. My bad. What up, Rick? Old Man Gaming, Cameron Thomas. What up, man? My bad about the music. I just had it playing. I couldn't, I can't, I don't know what it sounds like till y'all talk to me. But anyway, now we got some folk in here. We can go. So what I was saying was I'm going to talk about some UFO sightings today. First, I'm going to talk about the ones that, a lot of y'all might know. But then after that, I'm going to talk about some stuff from the streets. So I'm going to talk about some stuff from the streets too, because it's a lot of UFO sightings in the street. But, you never hear them because, man, hood Negroes not finna go and go and like, search for no dang UFOs. Now, look, y'all, let me test something real quick, man. I'm finna put the music a little lower. Let me know if this too loud. Let me know. That's on 1. I think it was on like 15 at first. So this is 1. Let me know what 1 sounds like. If it's too low, But yeah, everything going good, man. Everything, I ain't got no complaints. I'm just making it do what it do, coming on and kicking that stuff like ain't nobody else can do. If you follow me on TikTok, then my TikTok page pretty hot. So the TikTok page pretty hot, man. So I'm trying to do something for y'all on here on YouTube, because I know a lot of y'all refuse to go to TikTok. So I said, man, I'll come over here and kick a little something for y'all. So right now I got the music on one, so y'all let me know if it's if you can even hear it, because it might be too low. But anyway, so with a lot of times when it comes to this UFO type stuff, right? A lot of stuff you'll never see, because when you Google search, Google gonna show you all the stuff they want to show you first. So like Google gonna show you what CNN and Fox and MSN and all the big boys. They gonna show you the big boys, man. They not finna show you like me. If you find the video I done on UFOs, it's gonna be so deep. You're gonna have to go 20 pages deep. And most people, when they Google search, they usually go to the first and second thing, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Most people ain't going deep like that. So a lot of times, man, a lot of stuff get buried up under the rest of this stuff, man. So that's why when you see stuff online, take it for what it is. But understand, if you really want to find some truth, man, you gotta do your own digging, and you gotta do some digging, man. That's the perfect word for it, man. Digging. You gotta do some digging. So I just found out that the Roswell crash, I don't know, I guess I was thinking Area 51 was in Roswell. I don't know why, and I guess nobody ever really told me that, but just the fact that when I was driving through there, I seen so much like alien stuff. Like they be selling the stuff, and everywhere you go, they selling it. Everywhere, every store, every little stand or whatever, they got alien stuff in there, because it's like a tourist thing or whatever for them. So I got to talking to the people, cause and it makes sense now. That's why you always gotta be careful when you be making assumptions, man. Cause I'm legit thinking that I'm like, oh shoot, I'm around the corner from Area 51. I'm gonna start asking folk. I'm sitting there talking. No wonder them folks, some of them folk were looking at me like I was crazy. Oh, okay, cause sometimes when you be talking, when you be talking to people from other cultures, man, they don't always understand what you're saying. So they just kind of go along with it. I know sometimes, boy, I be talking and I got strong accents. Somebody is shooting like crazy. Yo, you hear all them gunshots? Kiki. All right, so no music. Kiana! God dang, man, somebody letting. Yeah, you hear all them gunshots? Bro, somebody shooting like crazy. Go listen. Put your ear by the door or something. It's not here, it's like far away. Man, somebody was letting off assault rifles. Man, I ain't never heard nobody doing no Christmas shooting. Yeah. This a real this a UFO yeah, I don't know. I stay, man. I don't stay in the hood no more. I stay in the country, man. So, sometimes, man, them white boys go out there and be letting loose, man. So that's what it sounds like. Sound like somebody just in their backyard just letting loose, boy. I'm talking about, man, they tearing some stuff up. Nah, that wasn't no you know it when you hear like some shooting at somebody shooting. This was just some, hey man, well, let's go back there and let off a couple rounds. All right, Bubba, you ain't said nothing but a word. It's one of them kind of things, man. So with this Roswell thing, I got to talking to people and asking folks, man, what's up with all the alien things? We must, well, yeah, and they get saying, yeah, we had a ship crashed out here back in the day, and I'm like, man, I'm like, yeah, like, cause if you just don't see stuff like that, man, you just don't see a place where everybody accepts the fact that we had a spaceship crash. Now I don't know where y'all grew up from, but in Chicago, it ain't nowhere where we just where yeah, man, everybody know that the aliens came and crashed over there. We just ain't got no stuff like that. But yeah, they were letting loose, boy. I say, man, they tearing something up, boy. But yeah, we just don't have that same so for me to see people with that type of like culture, man, it was just mind blowing to me. So there's a lot of sources of information on the topic, but not all of them are reliable or accurate. Some are based on speculation and conspiracy theories and misinformation. So I got a couple of news reports on what's going on. So that's why first I'm gonna go through what the big boys say and how they broke it down. But yeah, this picture is from somebody who seen something in the streets, man, seen something in the hood. So this come from Chicago. And if kind of if you kind of, just maybe into this stuff or just happen to see it, there was a UFO convention a few years ago and it was in Chicago. And they had, it was like they was, I didn't kind of forget. I think I might have did a video on it at the time, but it's been like over a year ago, I think. And it was like they had the convention in Chicago and they was like just talking on the stuff. And it's like government people, like government people was legit just talking about this stuff. So, when government people talk about this stuff, it kind of give it power, give legs to it, as some people say. Cause think about this. It's just like let me name a celebrity I can't stand. I can't stand The Rock, right? Like I used to like The Rock as a kid, as a wrestler or whatever, but and since I grew up, man, like I'm just not a fan of The Rock. So if I saw a UFO, I'm done with. Like I'm not no more good, man, cause that's too much for me, man. Yeah, that's too much. I can deal with a lot of stuff, but a UFO, that's too much, man, cause that's something that people really ain't gonna believe you, and the people who will believe you, I'm scared of them. I don't need no men in black. The men's in black, boy. I don't need no men's in black coming to me. And I'm gonna want to tell somebody. And I think if you mess around and say the right stuff, that's when they come and see you. They don't come and see you when you just saying, but when you mess around and say the right thing, and they say, okay, we know he tell like, so if you say, yeah, I seen something, and it was at 12:30 at night, and it was, and I was over here, and it came from that way and went that way. Like when you say stuff that they know is legit, that's when they come and see you. And you don't want to get seen by the men in black. Basically, for y'all that don't know, the men's in black, they come in when they see you, they come and they really just come to scare you and let you know that you better shut your mouth up. So they ain't coming like they tell you like we coming to gather information from you. But what they do, but is while you talking to them, usually while you talking to them on the phone, they soon as you hang up, they like coming up into your house. So one guy, he was like pretty well known UFO guy, right? And he had got a call from the men in black. Now I can't remember if he, like it ain't like, hey, we're the men in black, blah blah blah. But they called him and told him they wanted to interview him or something like that. So he get off the phone with him, and when he get off the phone with him, he upstairs in his house, and he leaves to go into the hallway to head downstairs, and he see the two men in black coming upstairs in his house. He just hung up with him, and they talked to him and asked him what he knew, and he got real quiet after that. Now he told that story. And I got to see if I can fat track, because this been, shoot man, it's probably been like 12, 13 years ago since I seen, maybe longer than, yeah, it's been like 12 years ago or so since I seen that story. So I need to see whatever happened to that guy. And I ain't got no clue what his name was and none of that. But and now, like I say, with now it's so hard to search stuff now. I'm sure I probably never find it. Excuse me. Maybe I get lucky, but I'm gonna try. See whatever happened to that guy. Cause this was yeah, that was about 12 years ago when I first heard that story. So yeah, if I ever seen the UFO, I don't, cause I know I'm gonna want to tell somebody, but I don't need trying to see the men in black. The men in black, they wear black suits, black hats, and their face it's like a human face, but it's something off about it. Like it's like they features is not, you know, all the way there. It's like they kind of got the features, but they like kind of alienish and skeletal-ish, like kind of gray aliens. How they features is like, just like their nose is like just two holes and their mouth ain't got no lips, stuff like that. No facial hair. That's what the men's in black is like. Yo, fight those two random and we in my house. Okay, Rick say he gonna punch these two men's. Let me tell you something, Rick. If two guys in your house and they calm, you probably should stay calm too. Cause if somebody just casually walk in your house like that and just coming on, cause think about it. Not only did they come in the house, but they knew where he was at in the house. So they came in the house and was on the way upstairs to him, and he didn't let them in. They didn't break in the house. He didn't, they didn't break in, and he didn't. They didn't know he didn't say, "Hey, I'm upstairs." They just knew. So if somebody like that come in your house, long as they stay cool, you better play it cool too. Now, if you want to grab you something and just have it in your pocket or whatever, then yeah, that's cool. But shoot, you ain't, man. Look, you better start acting like you got amnesia. You better start acting like you got Tourette's and you just be throwing out random stuff. I said, man, I don't know nothing about no UFOs, man. I was just sitting around, man. I start talking like Boomhauer, man. I don't know nothing about no goddamn UFOs, man. I was standing out, man. I was drunk high. I was drunk high and paranoid that night, man. And I looked up and I saw the light, man. It was a drone. Little boy down the street got drone. I thought, boy, there's some problems you don't want right there. You don't want damn parts of that. Telling you. Now, let's see. So, oh shoot, I closed the thing I was reading from. Dang, that was stupid. So, one of the locals I met, he told me, and I think this 1947 is when this thing happened, if I'm not mistaken. Now, of course, he said he was there. He said he was there the day it crashed, and they all saw it go down, and they all got in their cars and bikes or just whatever they can get in there, and everybody in the neighborhood went that way. And when they got there, he said they saw they saw like smoke and fire coming up. And the ship was the flames and stuff was shooting up out the ship and all that. And then he said it had like a kind of built-in fire extinguisher system. So, while the fires and stuff was popping up, all of a sudden, like the ship kind of just had this like stuff spray all out, like foam, fire hydrant looking stuff. And said it just sprayed out and put all the and put all, put it all out or whatever. So now he said that some people pulled up in vans, black vans, blacked out, and they had guns and they had badges and stuff on, and they immediately started telling the crowd to get back, telling everybody to leave the area. And he said, nobody had a camera because, man, it's 1940s. Everybody didn't just have cameras, and it might have been somebody with a camera, but it don't mean he gonna be around and all that and had it ready and the film ready. So he said, nobody had any pictures or anything, but he did say that people tried to sneak back and come back, and but if they saw you, especially if they saw your camera, they would take it from you, confiscate it, take your film from you. They went to the place where everybody was like where everybody would go to get their film and stuff and put in that red room. The room where they had a film developed. He said the businesses that did that, the police was there, and people would turn their film in and they wouldn't get it back till they checked it and made sure you didn't have no, photos of the incident. He said that they was all over that thing to the point that most people it was just word of mouth. So, they would try to tell people, but it's hard for people to believe it. You ain't got no proof. And people make up stuff. Oh, it's probably just a airplane, from the military. And at this time, I don't know if everybody knew everything that was going on in World War II, but the Germans had some stuff over there. Man, the Germans had some stuff. The Germans had stuff that was, and all of it didn't work. Everything they had wasn't successful or nothing like that. But the Germans had stuff way beyond what America had, man. We had some stuff too now. Like we had that nuke. What up, Bucky? Say happy Thanksgiving. Hey man, everyday Thanksgiving for me, so yeah, everyday Thanksgiving for me, so I appreciate it, Buck. Just in here talking about the UFOs real quick. Come on here, sit back and get you a little slice of we got some cake back there in the back. Get you a little slice, come on, sit down. Get you a good seat. I like to throw that cake in the microwave for a minute, I like to get a little heat on it. But anyway, yeah, so he said they that was going on. Now he said a lot of people did believe them because people could see the extent that the police and stuff was going through, and these little FBI looking guys and junk was going through to make sure that nothing got out about it. But then the simple cover up they had for that was, well, we don't want people coming here from all out of town. We don't like out of towners coming in here. We want to keep our place like it is. So that was their cover up for it. And at the end of the day, during this time, you was able to get away with it because, news just didn't travel like it did today. If there was somewhere today where a spaceship supposedly crashed in America, and let's say you had at least a couple hundred people that believed it. If that happened today, it would spread like crazy. Because you're going to have people that is going to have a chance to take pictures or go live because they got they there with their phones. And then on top of that, once they put it out there, it's out there. The police can do a lot of stuff. But once that stuff hits social media, They can't, they can work on trying to get it, but they ain't gonna get it all. They can try to clean up some of it, but it ain't. Once it hits social media, it's on social media. And then another thing with social, we didn't got smart now, so we know when you do a lot to cover something up, that means you basically telling us that it's true. Because if it wasn't true, you wouldn't try to. You ain't gonna try to. You just let it go. You know, you just let it go. That's true, man. Americans did use the Germans uh, to help us create weapons. America's used the Germans, and they talk about that in Oppenheimer, and we did a lot of stuff through those people. Even after the war, a lot of the scientists and stuff that worked for the Germans, we gave them jobs, man. We gave them jobs and a place to live. Because at the end of the day, information is valuable, man. Information is crazy valuable, man. These monks love information. They already got money, they already got power, and they got money and power because they got so much information. you know, like me, right? If I didn't won a battle against somebody or a war against somebody, I'm like, man, look, get all their money and gold and diamonds and jewelry and bring it to my house. And what about the scientists? Do you want them to look? I ain't worried about no scientists. I want the money and the diamonds and the gold. Okay, get that here. Scientists, what they gonna do for? I look, that's the last thing I'm thinking about. But them, they smart boy. They want that bread, man. Now at the time, Roswell had 13,000 people in it, so that was a pretty nice sized town, man. So it spread around and spread, but it's just that time. Now I so wish now here go the bad part about today. Even with us having cameras and stuff at the ready, it's still so hard to tell if what we looking at be legit or not. Like man, there's some videos and I'll be watching it, and me, I'm slow to believe paranormal stuff. Like, I'm not the type that gonna scroll and see a video. Oh, that's like I'm the type that'll scroll and say, "Man, that's crazy." Probably ain't true, but god dang, that's crazy. Or I see like a video somebody did, and I'd be like, "Man, could he have edited that video like that?" But cause see, this would get me. If I put something out, people gonna look at it like, okay, well that's hood horror. He do horror stories and weird stories, so that's kind of his thing. Maybe it's real, maybe it ain't. But it be some stuff that posts, and it'll be like from an account that don't do that type of stuff, and that's the stuff that really get me to me, man. Like I saw one guy, he was a truck driver, and all his videos was just him and his family or him riding his truck or something. And then he had one video where he was by the woods and it was just screaming coming out of the woods. It was like, you know, shit, can't put it in words, man. Like some people were saying it was a meerkat or something like that. I don't know. But that video stuck with me because he's not a horror creator. He's just he do trucking content. So if I did something like if I did a video, look, y'all, let me show y'all this stuff I had. Y'all be like, oh, hood, that's funny, or oh, hood, that was creepy. You're not gonna take it as real. Even if I tell y'all, man, this is real, this is legit, I'm not playing y'all. Y'all still gonna be like, oh, look at hood, boy. But so when I see people that don't do this kind of stuff, do stuff, that's when it stick with me. So every now and then you see that kind of thing, and that's the stuff where I be like, that leave me scratching, but ain't nothing itching. So Roswell had 13,000 people in it. It lived in this time, and they also had an army airfield, and opened up in 1942. and hosted thousands of military personnel during World War II. Wow. Now, uh, hold on. So, the military, they got some stuff. Cause the Germans had a lot. They was working on like hovercrafts and like nuclear powered jets and like basically spaceships. They was working on this type of stuff. And I don't mean spaceships like NASA rocket spaceships. I mean like nuclear powered, gravitational powered, like kind of weird stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that they was working on at this time, man. So a lot of people, a lot of people may not know, but we got some stuff, man. Like a flying saucer, we got that. So that's why now is a lot of claims. You see so many claims, but also they not taken really seriously unless you just part of the UFO believer community. And the reason is because it's so many people who I mean, because we got the stuff. We got stuff. They got the hovercrafts, man. They got all that. They got all that, man. They got stuff to control the weather. They got lasers that could start blazes. Man, they got all kind of stuff. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now how I got guaranteed proof on how they can control the weather. They can control the weather guaranteed because they're like this, right? Look, they could take something, drop it off in the middle of the ocean. Boom. When that thing go off in the middle of the ocean, if y'all don't know, it create a shockwave, and that shockwave gonna send that water moving. And ain't nothing as powerful on this earth as water. Like after natural forces, like wind is pretty bad, but water is I think water about the worst. Them tsunamis and stuff, man. That water come through there. Cause see, you can't get a tornado everywhere. Tornadoes have places where they touch down. Like you ain't gonna see no tornado, everywhere. It's just certain spots. For what the reason is, I don't know. I looked into it once, but I forgot what it said. But that water, when that water get to coming, ain't nothing you can do to stop it. So if they throw something in that water over there in Cali, and it's in that wave going, boy, and whatever that water go through, it's tearing it up, boy. There ain't gonna be no warning either. The water move quick. And fire worse than water, I would say, but how do what fire is that a natural thing? It's like it is natural, but yeah, okay, maybe fire. I don't know which one y'all think worse. You think the tsunami coming or the wildfire? Which one is worse? I ready to deal with the fire because I can't swim, boy. So shoot, I ready to deal with that fire. All you gotta do is stand on the concrete. All right, where we at? So now I'm just gonna do a quick overview of the Roswell story. The Roswell crash was an incident occurred in July 1947 when a rancher named W.W. Brazel found some strange debris on his property near Roswell, New Mexico. So like this is the story they tell. Some people gonna tell their own story like that person told me. But hey man, it's up to you what you want to believe. Now the debris was taken to the Roswell Army Airfield where it was investigated by Major Jesse Marcel and other officials. and the RAAF initially announced that they had recovered a flying disc from the crash site, but later changed their story and claimed that it was a weather balloon. Now, many people were skeptical of the government explanation and believed that the debris was from an alien spacecraft and that the government had covered up the truth. And the incident sparked a lot of interest and speculation in UFOlogy and conspiracy theories and became one of the most famous and controversial events in American history. So, here go the History Channel. Here. They say it began in the summer of 1947 at the dawn of the Cold War when the U.S. Army Air Forces sent out a shocker of a press release announced they recovered a flying disc from a ranch near Roswell. More than 70 years later, the incident remains a defining aspect of the area's identity. And the town boasts a UFO museum and research center, a flying saucer inspired McDonald's, alien themed streetlights, and even an extraterrestrial family stranded in a broken down UFO on the side of State Road 285 looking for a jump start. Oh, I ain't see that. Dang, boy, if you saw that at night, that junk probably scared the crap out of you. Let me show that to y'all. Yeah, let me show that to y'all. Yeah, earthquakes bad too. I forgot it. Yeah, that's a natural thing. You can say, but could you? Because, hey, Rick, man, look, I done forgot, man. Sinkholes, my worst fear. I forgot about that. Man, ain't nothing worse than seeing a sinkhole, man. Cause that's it, junk. 1 second it's a hole, next second it's a giant like cavern under it, man. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, man. Sinkhole, man. That's about the worst thing in the world. The fact that you don't know how big it's gonna get. It could be like a little 5 foot wide hole. And next thing you know, that junk could be 30 feet wide. Man, shoot, heck no, boy. And if you fall in it, you can't get out. Mm-mm. Yeah, boy, that sinkhole, that ain't no joke, man. Boy, I forgot about that. Let me pull up this and so y'all can see what this thing look like. So this is what they got on the side of the road here. It's just a little, it's like cardboard cutouts look like. I guess the family needed a jump, and then the alien came up to give them a jump. Or either they came to get an alien to jump. I don't know. One of the. Oh, my bad. I ain't even put it up. There you go. There you go. So, now here I'm reading from the History Channel. I'm not reading from them because I believe them. I'm just reading from them because I'm letting y'all hear what the big boys say. But behind the UFO mania lies an uneasy truth. The events that transpired that summer are anything but clear cut, with admitted cover ups and conflicting explanations. It was a saucer, it was a spy craft, it was the Soviets, and new ones are still emerging. So, for y'all that don't know, America was into it with Russia. Now it's crazy because America and Russia was cool with each other during World War II, but America and Russia was still like, all right, we cool, but we ain't that cool. So like, even when it came to building the atomic bomb, right? they didn't want to share their progress with, even though they were supposed to be working together with Russia. They didn't want to share their progress with Russia because they felt like Russia was going to turn around and be like, well, shoot, I got this bomb. Maybe we just blow y'all up. And maybe Russia, and even worse of all, Russia might learn some stuff before them or figure it out before them, and that kind of thing. So it was like, hey man, we need to be the first ones on this. We got to run it. We can't let nobody else beat us into this. Yeah, The Descent was a terribly scary movie. First time I saw that, man, I was in one of the worst high schools in Chicago at summer school, man. But all them gangsters was in there hollering watching that. That junk ain't scary these days, but back then, that junk was scary back then, boy. Nowadays it's a freaking walk in the park, boy. But at that time, that junk was scary, boy. Now, sometime between mid-June and early July, the rancher W.W. Mack Brazel found the wreckage on his sizable property in Lincoln County, New Mexico, approximately 75 miles north of Roswell. Several flying disc and flying saucer stories had already appeared in the national press that summer, leading Brazil to believe the wreckage, which included rubber strips, tinfoil, and thick paper. What? Rubber strips, tinfoil, and thick paper. That's weird. Might be something of that ilk. So he brought some of the material to Sheriff George Wilcox of Roswell, who in turn brought it to the attention of Colonel William Blanchard, the commanding officer at the Roswell Army Airfield. The next day, the RAAF released a statement writing that many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office of Chaves County. So now they done gave the statement the next day. And the statement said that the rumors became a reality. And they said they had a possession of a disc through a local cooperation with a local rancher. Some good stuff right here, man. Got to do something to get the. Don't want to eat all the vegetables, man. At least drink it. According to that statement, Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer, oversaw the investigation of the crash site and recovered materials. The government changed the story about the saucer a few times. Now, the next day, the Roswell Daily Record ran a story about the crash and the astonishing claim, but U.S. Army officials quickly reversed themselves on the flying saucer claim, stating that they found debris was actually from a weather balloon. Releasing photographs of Major Marcel posing with pieces of supposed weather balloon debris is proof. So, military guys who work on aircraft initially said we have flying saucer pieces, and then turned around and said, oh wait, no it's not, it's a weather balloon. Nah. Military people are very, very thorough, and they are very precise. And I guess that's the same thing, maybe, kind of. But military people don't just speak without knowing what they're talking about. Because the way they look at it is they behind is on the line. So when military folks speak on something, it's because they already know what they speaking on. They already know what they saying before they done wrote reports. They done all that stuff. So when they got that stuff, the boss said, get a report on my desk by the morning. Sir, yes, sir. He did his report. He put it on his desk. He ain't went and wrote the wrong thing in that report. All right. It just ain't happened. Now, if you say they would have gave it to the local sheriff department, which he did, and the sheriff department made that claim, now I could see the sheriff and them not knowing, yeah, we got UFO pieces, buddy. Hey, you won't believe this, Chuck. We got pieces of a gosh darn flying saucer. Yeah, that's a different story. But the military ain't done that. So if the military put that story out, it's because it was the truth. And then somebody told them, shut your goddamn mouth up. That's what happened. Now, that photo is if you talking about the sheriff them taking a photo saying it's a weather balloon, and yeah, that was staged. Let me see if I can find. Well, let me see. Sorry. Let me see. I'll try to see if I can find that photo, but let me stay here for a minute. For decades, many UFO researchers were skeptical of the government's changed account, and in '94, the U.S. Air Force released a report in which they conceded that the water balloon story had been bogus. According to the 1994 explanation, the wreckage came from a spy device created for and until then classified Project Mogul. The device, a connecting string of high altitude balloons equipped with microphones, was designed to float fortuitously over the USSR. That's the Russians, detecting sound waves at a stealth distance. These balloons would ostensibly monitor the Soviet government's attempt at testing their own atomic bomb. Because Project Mogul was a covert op, the new report claimed a false explanation of the crash was necessary to prevent giving away details of their spy work. Now, that's a good story. See, that's a good story, right? Sound good. Hey, man, the Soviets, they testing nukes. So, we need to watch and figure out what they doing and just figure out how far along they come and pick up what we can and learn from what they done. You know, sound good, right? Okay, I can see that. I believe, sounds pretty straight. Sometimes stuff sounds a little too good to be true, though. Sound all right. Now, other elements of the Roswell story, namely that some eyewitnesses claimed that there were alien bodies taken from the site, were explained as fallen parachute test dummies and a more extensive follow-up report in 97. See, now they go get funky again because why would you have test dummies in a spy craft? Like, if you got a spy machine, obviously this thing is flying on its own, right? Like it's a drone, it's something that they don't need to be in to make it do what it do. Now just think about that. Did America have drones in 19? Let me look that up real quick. That's a good question. When were first flying drones? The first quadcopter, which is a type of drone, they said 1907. And this head took 4 people to control it. Let's see. All right, let's try this. First unmanned drone. Let's try unmanned. When was the first unmanned drone? That's what I need to be looking for. What? Which can be considered a drone, was used in warfare in July 1849. They talking about a balloon attack. A balloon attack on. Okay, look, man. Piloted. Okay, there we go. A small radio-controlled aircraft was first tested March 1917. Gosh dang. And America did one in 1918. The first one was Britain. It's interesting to note that the first wow, man. Shoot. So they was making drones and during World War One. Ah, dang, I didn't know that. Shoot. Man, these some bad boys, man. These some bad boys, man. So they was making drones in the early 1900s. 1918 when they launched the first drone. 17 in Britain, 18 in America. So yeah, by 1947, oh, they had that junk figured out. It wasn't nothing for this little alien thing. Okay, so they saying that this was really, now they said they had test dummies in there. That's where the bodies was. Now, why would you have bodies in a, what is this thing called, y'all? In a drone? Why would you have what's that? Why would you have bodies in that? That don't make sense to me. Why would you put test dummies in a drone unless you so the purpose of a test dummy is to see how much, like, like, okay, you can look at the dummy and tell like what the person would have survived this. So did you purposely crash it to see if people would survive that? But that can't be true, because if you was gonna crash it, you wouldn't have done it on this man's farm. If you out there in New Mexico, you'd have done it somewhere in all that desert space. Cause boy, it is some desert space out there in New Mexico, boy. Now here I got the whole I got the whole thing here. This thing is long. So the whole report is 200 and 232 pages. Yeah, boy, ain't gonna be reading all that. Maybe I'll try to see if I can put something together here and bring out some of the the best stuff in here. They got some. Well, let me see. I can show it to y'all now. Just give you a quick little glimpse at it. See, so the Roswell report, case closed. So they got everything. They got a couple pictures in here. So I'm gonna go through here later and see if I can see why they say they put them dummies in there. Cause that's what don't make sense to me. Now, if you told me you gonna, I just don't see. I just don't see it. And now, if they saying they removed the dummies from the wreckage, now did they remove them and put them in an ambulance? I'm guessing not. So, how did they remove them bodies? Like, did they put them on a stretcher? Or did they just toss them? If they just put them on a stretcher, okay, something ain't right. What the heck you putting it? What you being that careful with the goddamn dummy for? So okay, here goes. Look, there go the dummies right here. So yeah, During World War One, since the beginning of manned flight, designers have sought a substitute for the human body to test hazardous new equipment. Early devices used by the predecessors of the U.S. Air Force were simply constructed parachute drop test dummies with little similarity to the human form. Following World War II, aircraft emergency escape systems became increasingly sophisticated, and engineers required a dummy with more human like characteristics. During World War One, research and development of the first U.S. military parachute was underway at McCook Field, Ohio. To test the parachute, engineers experimented with several types of dummies, settling on a model constructed of 3-inch hemp rope and sandbags with approximate proportions of a medium-sized man. Now, the new invention was soon known by the nickname Dummy Joe, and Dummy Joe is said to have made more than 5,000 jumps between 1918 and 1924. By 1924, parachutes were required on military aircraft with their serviceability tested by dummies dropped from aircraft. For this routine testing, several types of dummies were used. The most common type is shown here: parachutes were individually dropped tested from aircraft when due both to increase reliability and large numbers of parachutes in service. This practice continued. Test dummies were still used frequently by blah 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 at Wright Field, Ohio, to test new parachutes. So that's still okay. So here, the ejection seat had been used during World War II. They would put a dummy in the center of gravity with the distribution of a human. This the benefit of these new types of crash dummies. Some basic. The U.S. Air Force made a proposal to improve model. Request. So they put a lot into these dummies. Look at there's some creepy looking dummies, ain't it? Okay, here go the escape projects. Devise a method to return a pilot or an astronaut to Earth by parachute if forced to escape at extreme altitudes. So they did these dummies at 98,000 feet. Then released for a period of free fall while body movements and escape equipment performance were recorded by a variety of instruments. 43 high long flights. So they had 43 flights with 67 dummies to the premiere. All right, so I'm gonna have to come back and I'm gonna have to read through this and see, cause they saying, okay, countering claims of a cover-up. Air Force projects that use these dummies and human subjects were unclassified and widely publicized in numerous newspapers and magazine stories and stuff. These included a book written by pilot, blah, blah, blah. Another book by a scientist, lieutenant guy. The intense public interest in high dive. Okay, you just talking. Yeah, see, I don't know about this thing. Why is it? Look how it's just talking all this stuff about the way they drop the dummies. What the? Why do you have to go through all this? I don't understand this, man. So it looked like they really went through a lot to try to say why these is them one aliens, because that's what the real problem was, huh? The real issue was, who did y'all take out of these ships? Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna check this out another time because that junk just going on and on. Yeah, it just ain't. This is not saying. It's just talking about why they, how they do it and how they. But it don't say nothing about why would you put dummies in that weather balloon. It just don't make sense. So if I'm the weatherman, I ain't gotta be in the balloon for the balloon to tell me what the weather is. And if I'm in a spy balloon, first of all, if you're gonna do a spy balloon, it's transmitting the data. You're not gonna put one of your soldiers in the balloon because you don't want to be responsible for that. So the worst thing in the world that can happen is that the balloon crash or something, or they shoot it down or whatever and capture it, and they got an American soldier in there. That's the worst thing you can do. So you're not gonna put nobody in there. You're gonna try to get as far away from that thing as you can. You're not gonna even put the test dummies in there because that can get traced back. Yeah, it's just like it just don't make sense. It's no kind of way it makes sense to put test dummies in that thing. It just don't. It's no way you can. It's no way you can. I just don't see any kind of way you can. Now, unless you're gonna say we're gonna put two guys in weather balloons, and then we're gonna use the weather balloons to sneak into enemy territory. But I know it's no way that that's they plan, right? It's no way. Ain't no way that the plan is to sneak guys in with
When you order us online, we'll give you a free pizza to use future.
Domino's. Y'all ain't getting no free advertising. Close that junk. So yeah, it just ain't making sense to me, man. Yeah, you wouldn't put nobody in that thing. Nah, you wouldn't put nobody in that thing. That one ain't making sense. So yeah, man, I just wanted to come and kick it with y'all for a little hour or something, man, and talk about this because this story had been, I just didn't know all this, man. So I was like, man, let me tell somebody else because I know somebody else is also, either just learning this stuff or something. I had no idea, man. So, y'all have a good night, man. Enjoy your weekend. I'll probably be back on tomorrow and come through and do a little something or drop some videos or something. But y'all have a good night, man. Love y'all. Bucky, stay good now, Bucky, all right? Rick, if you still in here, stay strong, man.